Hey y'all, so today we're going to be covering what's on my desk and what I use every single day as an iOS app developer. So starting with the desk itself, this really hasn't changed since 2020, I guess. It is an autonomous smart desk frame, so it's just the legs that go up and down with an IKEA tabletop on top that they don't sell anymore. So there will be links to that. I'm going to try to link everything in the description below. And then to my website that has a page that has everything as well. The links below may or may not be affiliate, just depending on if I could find them on Amazon or not, or if they have like affiliate programs that I've already signed up for. The desk shelf is by Modwood. So underneath the shelf, it's all magnet based, so you can change what the legs are, or even add a cubby on the side, like what I did. Inside that cubby is where I keep the Elgato Thunderbolt 3 dock. That way I can just plug into my MacBook Pro M1 Max with one cable or swap to the work M1 chip MacBook Pro. This setup today is all ran by those two computers. I know the M3s are out. I just honestly don't see the point in upgrading to the M3 chip from my M1 Max. I just don't think I'd really get the productivity boost yet from it. Currently for a keyboard, I am rocking the Zoom 65 by Melitrix. I bought it on DaneKeybs. Super cool orange color. I love it. Honestly, like this bright orange color, I either like really blue or orange accented things, and this fit the bill quite well. It sounds great. It feels awesome. It's nice and hefty. I am rocking the cookies and cream switches from DaneKeybs as well in the keyboard. Again, really tactile switches. I love tactile switches. Part of the reason I stay with mechanical keyboards is for that tactile switch. Now, as a mouse input to the computers, I use a Magic Trackpad. I just really love the trackpad gestures on the MacBook Pros themselves. And the only way to get those properly is with using the trackpad. This trackpad is the same that I've had for a couple years now. It's a Magic Trackpad 2 in Space Gray. I don't even think you can get it anymore in Space Gray. Again, no reason to upgrade because it's working perfectly. I just keep it plugged into the USB hub that I have underneath the desk so that it can just swap with whatever computer I'm using. Now next to that, and I think this is probably the newest addition aside from the LG Dual Up to my little workstation, is my iPad mini. My iPad mini sits on a Satechi iPad stand just because I saw it in a YouTube video and I needed an iPad stand. This iPad mini has really became a little bit of a essential in my day-to-day. It's a perfect size for reading books, like through Kindle or through the Apple Books app. It's also the perfect size to just sit on my desk and watch YouTube videos or control the HomePods or listen to Overcast or use dark noise on. It's just a nice little auxiliary screen that I really like having. I think honestly the iPad mini is the perfect iPad size. So other inputs into my computer is I have the Wave XLR. That's the audio interface that I use for my Rode PodMic. My Rode PodMic is what I use when I'm on meetings or if I'm streaming. I also have a Stream Deck, and that Stream Deck is used basically for work and for content creation. Mainly I use it while streaming, hence the name, but I also have a Zoom plugin that allows me to really quickly like raise my hand, share screen, leave a meeting, which I can never find where Zoom is, so I can leave the meeting promptly. So having it on the Stream Deck is just really nice and easy. Something else I've kind of added on the desk is with iOS 17, there became standby mode on the iPhone. So when you charge the iPhone and rotate it sideways, it turns into a nice little like clock, or you can have your reminders or your events shown. I found it easiest to do with a MagSafe charger. I got one from Spigen that lets me just put in the MagSafe puck and then I can plop it there whenever I want to use it. It has, because of how it's shaped, it has a nice little shelf underneath, and that's usually where I just put my AirPods also. Next is the little puck. Next to that is the Screen Bar Halos remote control. So that's what I can use to make it brighter, make my monitor light brighter, darker, change the color temperature, stuff like that. I did receive that for free, which was really cool to receive, and because I wouldn't have bought it otherwise, to be honest. I do quite like having a monitor bar, but I probably wouldn't have bought it just because there's others cheaper ones on the market. And I do have a desk light that like honestly, it works just fine. But because I got it, I use it. If you're looking into a monitor light, I think it's useful to have a very focused task light if you don't already have like a desk light of some kind. I also have a CalDigit Thunderbolt 4 hub. It's a hub because it just has 4 USB-A ports on the front and then 3 USB-C ports on the back. And those USB-C ports are actually Thunderbolt 4 ports. So I get really fast speeds if I plug in my camera or I plug in like my phone or something like that, especially with the iPhone 15 Pro's speed. Now, something on my desk that I keep, thanks to a tip from my therapist, is Altoids. Altoids are my favorite thing. Not my favorite, but Altoids are pretty handy to have on the desk. And that is because they allow me to bring myself back into focus. So because of the sharp taste of the Altoid, if I notice that I'm veering off in like a meeting, the minty flavor kind of like snaps my brain back to get me back into focus. Again, my therapist kind of like mentioned it because I mentioned I was having issues focusing, and that was like something we were trying, and it works quite well for me. The camera I use for meetings and for live streams and such like that is the ZV-E10 with the Tamron 17 to 28 millimeter lens. Now that lens is a full frame lens that I use on my other Sony, and it's great. It's awesome. I actually quite like how tight it gets and then how wide it gets. I think the ZV-E10 is great. I like it as a webcam, and it's a nice little vlog cam. The size of that ZV-E10 is also a pretty nice footprint. So if you're looking for an interchangeable lens that really focuses on video, that is a choice that you should probably look into. There's cheaper options if I'm using it as just a webcam, but I try to stick with Sony because I am in the Sony ecosystem, so I can swap lenses like I just did. Like I put my full frame lens on there, and if I ever want to grab it off and go, I can just yank off the lens and go. And with that, that's really all the tech that I use on my desk every single day. And if you have any questions, drop in the comments below, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye, y'all.